Welcome to The Cynical Developer, the podcast that helps you to improve your development knowledge and career through explaining the latest and greatest in development technology and providing you with what you need to succeed as a developer. We've recently launched our Patreon page, which can be found at cynicaldeveloper.com/Patreon. If you aren't familiar with Patreon, it's an easy way for those who are interested in this show to help out by simply pledging a small amount each month in sponsorship. Now that could be as little as $5 a month, which is about £3.80, or as much as you like. You will enable us to dedicate more time creating more content to help you, including videos, more blog posts, and even more shows. So if you can, head over to cynicaldeveloper.com/Patreon and get involved. In this episode, I want to tell you to stop thinking like a developer. So what do I mean when I say stop thinking like a developer? What I mean by that is you thinking about the problem from a coding or technical point of view straight away when you first start thinking about how you can achieve the solution. You start looking at these things with how can I produce the best code and how can I use the best tech setup possible to fix this. So, okay, you might be screaming at me now, how dare you? I don't think like that. But let's face facts, it's pretty common for developers to put all their time and attention into the technical parts of the problem. Hell, I still do it now. Even though I'm telling you to stop doing it, I still do it from time to time. And it's a challenge. It's a challenging thing just not to do it. But I'd like to sort of think that these are some steps you can take. Now, I've said don't think about the problem from a developer's point of view or perspective, which it's not entirely right. Of course, you need to think about the technical side, what the code will look like and how it will work and how it's structured. But there are many other views and other ways that you need to consider as well as the technical point of view. So why do you need to stop thinking like a developer? Well, you need to stop because you're not hired to write code. Well, some of us are. I have been in a position where they've checked how many lines of code I've written each day, but that's besides the point. You're in the position to provide value, to solve problems, and to help the company make money in most cases. Writing code is just a small portion of that. It's just one way that you can provide that value. So you should stop spending all your time trying to learn only the technical wizardry parts of your job, because in truth, your customers don't give a damn if your apps are written in C#, Java, or Esperanto. They couldn't give a rat's ass if you use TDD, BDD, FDD, or even BDSM. They're not in the slightest bit bothered about your epic use of Mercurial because only sissies use Git. All they care about is, does it work and is it good enough? Now just think about that. Is good enough? Is it good enough? Keep that in your mind. But anyway, the premise of your job is mostly to write code, but it's not entirely that way. When all you care about is the technical side, you're ignoring the bigger picture. You need to understand that larger picture so you can best use the techniques that you know about for the right purpose and in the right place. Having the technical understanding is necessary, but if you don't understand the whole picture, everything that's going on, how do you know that you're applying the right solution for the problem? So how should you think? You should try to think about the problem from several different angles. Think of your work as an apple. From the core of the apple through to the skin to the person who's going to take a bite out of it. A technical part where you decide how to code the solution. That's like the seeds. That's the little bits in the middle. And around that is your team and your teammates, and how will they use it? How will they build with it? Which, their seeds and your seeds come together, and there's a little bit of glue that's around them, and that's the core. That's the core of the apple. Your manager wraps that core up, and presents that the working code as the product, which it's kind of like the flesh. It's a little bit abstract, this. And then you have the skin of the apple, the shiny bit that the company owner wants and likes to see. He doesn't care what colour the seeds are, how many there are. He just wants a bright, fresh-looking apple that you can sell to somebody. And finally, you've got the customer. They want to buy that great-looking bit of fruit and they want to eat it. Okay, so really bad analogies aside, this is how you should start thinking about it. So I mentioned then about thinking like a developer on the team, like your teammates. So take a step back, think about the project that you're working on and the other developers that will be working on the project with you. Every little thing that you make, every single task that you work on should contribute to the bigger picture. Think about what you're doing and make sure that you write it to a standards that others can work with. Your teammates really don't give a damn that what you've just created is the smartest bit of code you've ever written or ever seen. Keep it simple, stupid. Your job is to figure out the best way to complete your task in the most efficient way. That's efficient in how long it takes you to write and how long how hard it is to maintain as well. Just don't be a clever dick for the sake of it. It doesn't benefit anybody. So next you can think like your manager. What's the focus of the team? What is the importance of the task for the project that you're working on or the projects? By evaluating what you work on and when can bring much more benefit than just cherry picking the easiest tasks. If you aren't sure, ask your manager and learn from what you're being told. That's if your manager's any good anyway. So then you take another step up. We're looking at that shiny skin bit now. And think about your company's owner. Where does the company currently stand? And where's it going? What's its motive? What's the aim of the company? You should know the direction of the company. If you don't, then go and find out. And once you know that, compare that vision of the company to what you're working on. Does it align? Does it help? If it doesn't help, can you make it help? Can you justify why it doesn't help? And maybe take that to your manager and say, look, it's a waste of our time doing this. We'd be better doing project A or project B. There might be something that you didn't know about that your manager can fill you in, but it's better to ask those questions and get that bigger picture. And the final point of view to look at it from is the customer. Step into the customer's shoes. Why would you buy this product? The product that you're working on. Is it easy to use? Is it fast? Is it more reliable than competitors? What is it about it that makes it better? That makes this stand out? Apply that to the feature that you're building. Is it fast? Is it easy to use? Is it better than a similar feature available in a competitor's product or products? If you don't know who your competitors are, it's definitely worth finding out who they are. Ask your boss, do some searching online, find out. Have a look to see if you can find out what their software is, maybe get a demo of it, see how it works, see how it's better than yours, how yours is better than theirs. So by doing this, you're bringing more value to the company, more value to the team as well. So thinking like this will help you a lot in your career. You'll understand the company's market better. You'll be able to provide constructive input when discussing it with your team, discussing new features or where you're going to take the product to. You provide more value, as I've said, to the business by understanding that bigger picture. You become the go-to person on the team when others are having a tough time understanding what needs to be done and why. This will lead to advances in your career as you naturally become that leader in your team. It won't go unnoticed that you're delivering more, you're helping your team deliver more, and your company is going to deliver more as well. So it should get noticed. But most of all, the code that you write will be better as you'll fully understand the scope of what you're doing and why you are doing it. Having that knowledge means that you have done the best by yourself, your team, your manager, your business, and your customer. And what company doesn't want a developer that can grasp their whole environment, understand the bigger picture, the whole picture, and has an appreciation for why they're doing what they're doing? So I hope this gives you something to think about. And I'd just like to put in one last bit of advice. Now, I can't confirm this, but apparently wearing a Cynical Developer t-shirt while you're coding will increase your output, make your builds run quicker, and even double the capacity of your laptop's RAM. Now, as I said, I can't confirm these. I don't know if they're true. If any of these reports are true, I would be amazed. But it is worth testing out, don't you think? Go and test these outlandish claims out. So if you head over to cynicaldeveloper.com/store, you can get your hands on one of these t-shirts and start testing them today. Come back to me, tell me what happened when you put one of these shirts on. So until next time, thanks for listening to Cynical Developer. I'm James Stoddart, and this was Stop Thinking Like a Developer. If you have any questions about this or any other episode, then drop us an email, a tweet, or leave a comment on the website where you can find all the resource links, show notes for each episode. And if you enjoy this episode, please leave a review on your favourite podcast platform, iTunes, Stitcher, whatever it is, and help the Cynical Developer to reach more developers around the globe.